So despite all of that, relatively bad news, you still have some priorities that, there's a saying, you show your priorities through your budgeting and how you spend your money. So given that and knowing that we've got this budget challenge, what are you prioritizing with the funds that we do have, the funds that are doing well, as well as balancing the ones that are going to need some help or will continue to struggle here over the next couple of years?
Well, I think I'll start with a specific example and then give the broader context. Last year, we discussed the fact that we really had cut our budgets so much that we're only able to respond to problems like in the criminal justice system, for example, respond to crime, respond to addiction or mental illness. To an extent, we weren't setting aside money to be able to invest in preventing those problems before they happened. And working with the University of Washington's Institute for Learning and Brain Sciences, we put together the Best Starts for Kids proposal, which is designed to do exactly that, create a little room for us to be able to start getting ahead of these challenges. The voters approved it overwhelmingly, and one of our projects for this year is creating and executing the implementation plan for Best Starts for Kids, and we're starting with a program to prevent youth and child and youth homelessness, which is a significant problem in our community, and those experiences actually change the wiring of a young child's brain and affect them for the rest of their lives. That really is part of our commitment to equity and social justice, that every child growing up here will have the opportunity to arrive at school ready to learn and graduate and enter adulthood ready to succeed and take advantage of all the opportunity that's around us. And equity and social justice is in fact one of the major priorities that we've identified, as well as the challenge of climate change, the challenge of mobility or the lack of it in our region. And you'll see those two are obviously closely connected, and mobility has a great deal to do with equity and social justice as well. And then this notion of us becoming the best run government, because in all of these areas, one of the ways in which we accomplish our goals is by doing very well at using the resources available and building in mechanisms by which we become better every day at that. So just let me touch briefly on climate. We delivered our climate action plan last year, and it is regarded as one of the finest in the country, and so we will be pushing forward on the implementation steps for that in concert with all of our cities. And then on mobility, just recently we opened the University Link for Sound Transit, and of course King County is the biggest part of Sound Transit. And that is a dramatic increase in capacity, in frequency and reliability of transportation. And now we are moving forward, and I chair Sound Transit as well, with a Sound Transit 3 proposal for this fall's ballot. And that is going to take a great deal of my time and attention over the course of the next 6 months. But it is the way in which this generation can make the investment that is going to allow this region to continue to prosper, and all those kids we want to have get a good start, be able to prosper, even as more and more people come here. And the alternative is we're simply going to be crushed under the weight of our own success, unable to move goods, unable to move employees. That is a future that we don't want to leave to those who come after us.
The fascinating thing is I just saw a video from the mid-1970s talking about just this thing, and it was the same issues, but 30-some, 40-some years ago. Yeah. How do we deal with our growth? How do we move people around this area that's constrained by water? So kudos to you on a little bit of forward movement on getting us better than we were 34 years ago.
I mean, clearly, transit is the answer. And I know we have transit employees here, and there's high-capacity transit, there's a transit at the neighborhood level. All of this allows us to move in this very constrained geography we have. If we're going to do the same thing and for 1 million more people using the way we did things in the middle of the 20th century, we would have to pave, all of downtown Seattle and Capitol Hill to move that many cars. And then where would they go? So this is our way to really keep the things we most value.
Mm-hmm.
and to improve everybody's quality of life.
Among those 4 priorities that you mentioned, I'm pretty sure each of those touches everyone's job in some way. So each person at King County should be able to see a direct line from the work that they do to at least one of those priorities.
And that's, equity and social justice is not an office in the corner somewhere and we check that box. Equity and social justice is everybody's job. Thinking about climate and the impacts that our decisions and services have on climate is everybody's job. Thinking about how we can run this government better is everybody's job. And that's what employee engagement's about.